Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Football Manager 2024 as we continue our road to glory run with FARSLEY CELTIC in the Premier League. But we have won the Champions League finally, so I guess we finally have achieved our road to glory. But we're going to go a couple more seasons just to see how good this team can get. Also because 20 is a nice round number. We're on season 18, so we'll go a couple more seasons. And yeah, let's get right into the end of season review and the transfer special. End of season review for 2040-2041 season. We won 4 trophies this year, although one of them, I mean, who cares about the Community Shield? But we did win the Premier League, we did win the Champions League, and we did win the FA Cup. So a couple really good trophies in there. New arrivals, we got Popescu for 2.5 mil. He was on a 6.98 for the season, not bad. Hagelscar, 2.6 mil. He was on a 6.96, also not too bad. And Garoli comes in here for 11 mil, 6.93. And then Kobayashi, probably, I mean, they're saying signing of the season. Maybe he's got a lot of potential, and he kind of does, but he definitely did not play as well as the other guys did on this list. But still, all in all, not too bad. Transfers out. We got Yaroslav out of here. Lawal, Yilmaz, Chawunga, Zakua, Hogg, Edson, Arroyo, Dakovic. None of these were like really frowned upon by the board, so that's good to see. And then finally loans out. Acosta's out. I mean, he's basically done anyway. And then, of course, Aiden Olsen here went out, although didn't really do that much. I don't know. We'll see. He's got some potential for him, I believe. Oh, actually, no, he's the one that started to drop off a little bit. Most likely will not be featuring for us at any point in time, but hopefully we can sell him on for a bit of a profit at some point. Obviously, we did win the Premier League in roaring fashion. It's even with 5 losses. Lost to Fulham, we lost to Leeds, both of those unexplainable. Drew against Aston Villa. We actually drew against Aston Villa twice. So Aston Villa had our number, apparently. Both of them 0-0s. Interesting. We lost against Man United, and we lost against Tottenham and Liverpool. So, yeah. Not too bad, though, overall. Average home attendance, 30,748. Would love to get a bigger stadium someday, but it's just not in the cards for us. Top goal scorer for us was Garcia with 15 as our backup shadow striker. That's impressive. And then in the Champions League, of course, we won this. We lost a couple games. We lost against Milan. We lost against Roma. We lost against FC Bayern. We drew against Newcastle the first time we played them. But then the second leg, we did, in fact, beat them. And then we just kind of went on a run after that. Marin was the top goal scorer for us in that run with 9 goals. FA Cup, of course, we won everything here except for, I guess, the very, very first game against Bristol City, unexplainably. But I think that was our second team anyway. And let's see what else. I guess it says 0-0 there. I guess it didn't show the penalties. I mean, obviously, we had to beat them in penalties to get past them. And, of course, we beat Sheffield Wednesday in the actual proper championship game there. Forini picking up 3 goals, was the top goal scorer there. We did lose in the Carabao Cup, unexplainably. We were playing a backup team, so I'm not super concerned about it, but it's just a little weird. And then Newcastle, we beat them 4-0 in the Community Shield to get that trophy. Moments to remember. Actually, did I go over the... Did we already pass the records and stuff? I guess maybe we already passed the records. Biggest win was against Swansea, 7-1 against them. Match to remember was our win against West Ham, 4-1. And goal of the season came against Arsenal. We had 3 goals in that game. Lacombe picking up a late goal in that one. I guess we can go watch this real quick. See how he did. When where Dante Smith got injured. Safin gets the throw in on this first goal. This is not the goal of the season, but this is one of the goals of this game. Good goal. Jamiso's picking that goal up. Nice goal from Marin. And here comes the goal of the season right here. I think I remember that one. Didn't we watch that one? I feel like that one looks familiar. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. The finances. I mean, we are actually now 5-star worldwide reputation. That's awesome. We got quite a bit of jump in sponsorship money. Broadcast revenue is basically the same. Corporate hospitality, a smidge higher, but basically the same. Competition prize money definitely went up. And then match day commercial, basically identical. Marino top shirt salesman, Lacombe, Smith, Kalman, and Jamistos finishing it out. Sounds about right. how we lined up. Fiorini is actually getting the nod as our top striker here. That's interesting. Lacombe behind him, Smith and Kalman on the outside. Jamistos in the BD in the middle. O'Brien, Saffett, Avazian, and Holick across the back. Avazian in here instead of Holtberg, but I think we switched to Holtberg around the midway point, which Avazian still got a lot of game time. And then, of course, Bedegla in goal. There's the accolades. That's what I was looking for. We got Manager of the Month 4 months out of the year. And then we also got Premier Division Manager of the Year. Yeah, us. Fans Player of the Season was Holick. Young Player of the Season was Smedzrud. Signing of the season was Kobayashi. Really, I still don't know if I understand that one. But hopefully he turns out to be amazing for us. Goal of the season came from Lacombe. We saw that. Top goal scorer is Fiorini with 24 goals. Most assists was Kalman with 16. Player of the match was Lacombe with 6. Our elite forward there. We got an elite winger as well. Garcia picks up the highest average rating. And most passes completed was Saffin. And then most clean sheets by a player in the season was Videgla with 21. Worst discipline, 18 yellow cards and 1 red card from Holick. I'm not sure if that's really what you want to be known for, my friend. But yeah, extremely strong results there. Obviously, we got everything we wanted to get done. And feeling pretty good about things. Here is our overall best 11. Let's see who gets inducted in here. O'Brien gets in here. He's actually coming in straight in as a starter on that left-hand side. And then Dante Smith comes in here also straight in as a starter on that left-hand side. So Marin, Lacombe, Kalman, Smith, Leverett still in here as a defensive midfielder alongside Dean. And then we got O'Brien, Saffin, Ivazian, Holick, and Videgla. Yeah, so basically our starting squad right now, not in this formation, but this is our starting squad, of course. The only difference being Leverett here coming in place of, I mean, Jamistos hasn't quite made his way up there. I don't know if he'll ever actually be properly identified as a defensive midfielder. He might be in here as a striker for all we know. But still, overall, pretty good. Best 11, where are they now? Conco, Billows. I mean, most of these guys we're going to kind of move past anyway. So it doesn't really matter where. They're probably below us at this point in a lot of cases, other than like guys like Rodriguez, of course. 2024 squad. I mean, I guess we weren't here in 2024, so we don't really care. Well, I think we joined this team in 25, right? Because we started at Buxton again and got fired from them. Weird that keeps happening. Club Vision, I mean, we'll accept everything there. I'm not even care what they say. I mean, what do they say? Just, I guess I should at least know what they say, even if I don't care. Reach the latter stage of the Champions League, win the Premier League. I mean, sure. Win a domestic cup. Sounds good. They want us to continue to win. They actually think we're good enough to continue winning the Premier League. I like that, and I actually kind of agree. Premier League. Yeah, let's win it again, guys. And that's it. We'll just take the win on the team report there, or the team meeting. And training camp destination. Let's go to America. I can go back visit some family. And then we got staff meeting. We don't care about that. So, what are we going to do? Let me just get past this little skip here. Let's take a look at our squad here. Kalman wants an improved contract. I mean, we're keeping Kalman, right? Like, Kalman stays. Yeah, I mean, the guy's green across, all the way down the line here. He's obviously very, very good for us. Those kind of physicals. His only fault, despite being 6 foot tall, his jumping reach is garbage. Other than that, he's pretty solid across the board. Yeah, we definitely like Kalman. We'll give him a contract. I'm okay with this. Let's go ahead and kick this off real quick before I forget about it. And we got plenty of money. We're kind of just okay with giving him whatever he wants at this point. Other than, of course, that. And if we can drop off any yearly wage rise, just at least drop it down to 5%. I'm okay with that. All right, there we go. Kalman should be happy now. Yeah, let's see here. First up, let's go to our dev center. And at least temporarily, let's go to our squad here, under 21s. I'm going to move everybody into the senior squad that has at least 4.5 star potential. So all you guys temporarily get moved to the senior squad, just so I can take a better look at you. Same thing for you guys. We'll definitely include Hughes in this list. Move to senior squad. Okay. And then nothing there. Squad planner, ask assistant to suggest for everything. And make sure we're looking based off of Mr. Pitts. And let's go. Let's go right through this real quick and see what we're going to be doing. I mean, we're not far off from Hegelscar taking our starting lineup spot for goalkeeper. In fact, there's a reasonably good chance that he just is already there. Compare with, come on, compare with Badegla. I mean, Badegla's only 25 years old, but the good thing about Badegla is we can always bring in a backup behind Hegelscar if we think he's our future and sell Badegla on. So that's always an option. But they're very, very similar on this chart right here, right? Like they're not, I mean, Hegelscar's got a little bit of edge there. Badegla's got an edge there. They kind of alternate back and forth, but almost exactly what you're looking for there. And then as far as overall attributes, I mean, yeah, Badegla's got some that are better. Hegelscar's got some that are better. Hegelscar is 6 years younger, so he's definitely going to be able to get better. Badegla's a little bit taller, but honestly, all in all, they're pretty close. Pretty close. And if they're this close, we don't really need both. You know, it would not be a bad idea for us to consider moving one of them on at some point. So, goalkeeper, we'll have to take a look at that. Left-hand side, I mean, O'Brien is our primary still, and he's still got plenty of space to grow and get really good for us. Penalt, I believe, is still our secondary. We got Krachnikov and we got Nielsen both coming up as well as guys that are going to be joining us in June. So we'll definitely have to take another look at this in June. Martinez, we're moving to the midfield, I believe, or the center backs, I mean. Yeah, that's fine. And then Suleiman is not in the spot. So we got a lot of options here. Yeah. We got more than we need. There's no denying that. On the right-hand side, of course, Holick. I say, of course, Holick. Here's the thing about Holick. Holick is great. We like Holick. Holick has done a great job for us. Holick is very good for his physicals, for sure. But he's not homegrown at the club, right? And he's not homegrown at the nation. So I could definitely see an argument for it. We're not going to move Dean over here. Krachnikov's not going to be over here. Although he's kind of our best we've got. Unless we move like somebody like Kobayashi over. We really just don't have anybody that's just amazing back up here. So maybe 4-star is fine. Maybe we accept the fact that 4-star is, it's all relative. Don't get me wrong. I get that Holick might be insanely good for us and be okay with that. But really is still just Holick and Suleiman at the moment on this right-hand side. I wish we had one of these guys that could play right. I guess Krachnikov sort of could if we want to move him over there. But he's technically left-footed, so it's not really what we're looking for. I wouldn't mind keeping my eyes open for a obvious long-term right back that we can look into at some point. In the center back roles, we got Safin, we got Holtberg. I think those are just hands down our top two. Grulli's going to be a defensive midfielder. Dean's a defensive midfielder. Avazian, the good thing about Avazian, he's trained at club, and I will always drop my expectations of star rating by a full star rating if they're homegrown at club or homegrown in the nation, because they're just somebody who's easy for us to register. He's going to be great. 4-star, homegrown at club. That's an amazing player. Martinez, yeah, definitely could be somebody. What foot are you? You're also left foot. So it'd be nice if we could make you move to the right side as well, but just not really what we're looking for. Then we got Osir and we got Pochet. Pochet's technically a defensive midfielder. I mean, we definitely want 4, right? And I really like Avazian. Avazian's just a solid player. So even though he's capping out at 4 stars in theory, I think he's the type of guy we would love to keep around for as long as possible. Obviously, Safin and Holtberg look really strong as well. And then it's between Osir and Martinez back here, but one of them we keep, one of them we move on, something like that, maybe. Defensive midfield, obviously not going to be Safin. We love Jimmy Mistos in this role, if at all possible. Madueke, Kobayashi, Matip. We got a lot here. We got a lot. I mean, do we move somebody like a Matip or a Kobayashi to the right-hand side? I mean, they're crossing. He's crossing garbage. Matip at least has passable crossing, but he's not going to be what we're looking for. Honestly, Matip drops off this list entirely. He's just going to be somebody we move on. I think it's Dean and Gemistos as our top 2. But I think Growley and Madueke and Kobayashi are fighting for that third and fourth spot. It's possible that Madueke is just better than Kobayashi, even though I gave Kobayashi the nod this year. Grawley's definitely an obvious third for us. Yeah. We'll play around. I think Matip goes. I think we need to find a loan for someone like a Kobayashi or a Pachit and really just hold on to this top four. Left attacking midfielder. Marin definitely not. Baba, kind of, yeah. Let me come back to some of these guys. Nielsen, I mean, Nielsen could play up here, but not really what we're looking for. He's more of a defender, and he's got some good physicals. I think we drop him off this list. Hughes will be on the right. Let me come back to Rydell, or Riedel. Smedrud really is going to be moving on. We've outgrown Smedrud for sure. I like Baba. I think Baba looks like he could be decent. Tokmak, I don't know. Actually, he's technically a striker with 17 finish. Okay. So Tokmak drops off this list. Riedel might stay on this list. His finishing's not as good. So he might be somebody who stays on this. And then Smedrud definitely moves on. Something like that. And then on the right-hand side, definitely not Marin. Definitely not Smith. Definitely not Tokmak. Fiorini's out. Kalman, yes, for sure. Balba can stay on the left. Jewel. Oh, that's right. Jewel was injured. Yeah, we like Jewel. Jewel was just injured. That's right. I'm remembering now. And then we got Mertens. Mertens is never going to be it. He's joining us, but I don't think he's going to turn out to be what we had hoped for. Sometimes we have misses, and that's not a big deal. Fevrier is not going to be here. We'll leave Mertens on here until he shows up just to make sure. Hughes, Popescu. We're trying to retrain Popescu because we just don't have space for him anywhere else. But, I mean, somebody like a Hughes, I mean, I don't know. If Jewel comes back, we don't need Popescu. So Popescu might move on. So we'll play around with that a little bit as well. Jamiso's not here. Lacombe for sure. Garcia probably. Matip, just kind of no. Vattensdahl? I mean, this is basically the only spot he can play. I mean, I like the Garcia a lot. But if he's reaching his... I mean, he played really well for us this year. But if he's reaching his cap of what he's capable of, maybe we do go with someone like a Vattensdahl here instead. Joel would be on the right-hand side if he does come back, and then Noor most likely will come in as a striker. But even that, I don't know. Something like that. It's possible that Garcia sticks around, but we also might be able to get some money from him. And then finally, strikers. We got Marin, of course. Gemistos, we had to move him because he's just too good of a player to not have on the team somewhere. Lacombe, definitely off this list. Baba, we got him on the left. Fiorini sticks around for a second. Rydell sticks around for a second. Garcia, probably gone. Noor, probably... did we have him back here? No. Where did I have Noor? I thought I had him somewhere, but I guess not. Noor might not be good enough for us. Popescu, I think we've passed up on him as a striker. Good finishing, though. Let me leave him in the list for a second. Brecken, 16-year-old Brecken here. He's just never going to... He's not going to be ready for us just yet. You're gone. I mean, Tokmak looks like he's going to be an insane player. But we just don't have a space for him right now. Now we got a Marin. And we got... I mean, we got some good strikers, guys. I gotta play around with this. Rydell. Don't think he's what we're looking for in this particular spot. I don't think Noor is quite what we're looking for in this particular spot. Popescu. I think his physicals are too weak. I think these are our top three right here. Tokmak, he's got the physicals, he's got the finishing, just about everything. He's good on everything. Fiorini's got the finish. He's got the hat, the hat trick, if you will, the dribbling, finishing, first touch. It's the three you want, and decent enough physicals to cover, and then good mentals as well. And of course, Marin also has the hat trick, the dribbling, finishing, first touch, and amazing physicals other than jumping reach, and really good mentals as well. So I think it's something like this. I think these other guys, we move on, or we find other locations for them, or the other spots for them to potentially just transition to. Yeah, we'll play around with it. We got some possibilities, though, guys. We got some possibilities. Someone like a Noir could be retrained as a defensive midfielder, maybe, because he can sort of play midfield. Wouldn't be that hard to transition him. We could do the same thing we did to Gemistos if we really feel like he's got a future for us. I don't know. I need to play around with things. And we already see some of the guys we're bringing in, right? That's all we're bringing in because we're limited on how many under 21-year-olds that we can bring in at a time, 6 per season. But, and that's okay. We'll definitely get some good use out of these guys. And none of these guys really cost that much other than Vatnsdal. I think Vatnsdal can slot right in. And Talkback we spent a good chunk of money on, but he looks solid. So we got some good guys coming in. And I think it's going to be kind of a quiet transfer window otherwise, because I just don't see us transferring anything in. But we might be transferring some guys out. That's where the activity is going to come up in the transfer window, is to transfer some guys out, make room for some of these younger players. And that's where we're going to be. So I'll bring you guys back when anything else happens. And we'll see where we go. So we'll be back in a bit. All right, we are back. We've done some business. Not much. We haven't really brought anybody in. We've literally brought nobody in. We have sold a couple people and sent a couple people out on loan. So we'll talk about that here in just a minute. Here's how we went through friendlies, and we went ahead and played the Community Shield and the Super Cup. We lost the Community Shield to Chelsea. Honestly, we had like half our starters injured, half of our second squad injured. I had to go to third string for several of our positions. It was not a good lineup, so I wouldn't judge too much from that. We got a few of our starters back. In fact, we got all but I think 1 or 2 of our starters back for the Valencia game, which, as you can see, we beat them 2-0. Marin picking up a goal and Dean picking up a goal in that one. So I would say that's more of a judge of how we are than the game against Chelsea, although Chelsea's a good team. So even if we had all our starters, I mean, losing by 1 goal to Chelsea, honestly, I wouldn't be too disappointed in that. It was actually a pretty evenly matched overall. So what do I want to show you guys first? I guess we'll go show you who we sent out. So on the way out, again, just a handful of people. Actually, let's go back up half a season here. Anybody here that we didn't already talk about? No. Potchett. Potchett's the only one I think that you guys have not seen before. We brought him in for 11 mil, sold him for 4.2. He did not turn out to be as good as the scouts said he was going to be. So we took a loss on him. Honestly, paying 11 mil, taking a half, 5 mil loss at our level, that's nothing. And we got plenty of players that we can get gains off of. So I'm really not concerned about that at all. It's worth 11 mil to see if he turns into something. Half the time, we sell him for even, right? We just sell him for 11 mil. A quarter of the time he's probably good, and a quarter of the time he's probably bad. So I would say it's fine. It was one of the bad ones, and it wasn't really that big of a loss at the end of the day. We got several guys that went out on a loan here right at the end of the season. These are guys that we picked up, and then we told them they can go back out alone to their respective squads. Now, the one here is Karachnikov here. Unfortunately, broke his leg and will be out. So we actually brought him back off of his loan. He'll be out for a couple more months. Very, very disappointing, but hopefully he's able to bounce back quickly. He is back on our team, though. I didn't want to leave him out on loan while he's had a broken leg. We brought him back to our squad. Let our doctors take control of that. And then I guess if he becomes good enough, we might be able to play him a little bit on our squad at some point in time. And then we already looked at all the guys that came in, I believe. As far as anybody else that went out, we did sell Matip for 41 mil. We had originally brought him in for 22.5, so we got almost double money after 3 seasons with him, and he really just never took off. Honestly, 6.8, I mean, that's average. There's nothing wrong with that. But the fact that he could play average and we could double our money mostly, yeah, I think we're pretty happy with that. I don't know who Simile is, some guy that we don't even care about. Acosta, we've had for a few seasons, but obviously we've moved on from him with Videgla and now Hagelskar in that backup role as well. And so we really weren't using Acosta at all. He actually went out on loan to Man United last year. Didn't play that well. Played 2 games with him. So to bring him in for 5.75 and sell him for triple money, that makes up for what's his name that we lost 5 million for. So I'm pretty good with that. And I think him moving on to something that he can get some good game time from is great. Garcia is a player that we do want to try and sell. We just aren't. We're ready to grow past Garcia. He's been fine. There's nothing wrong with Garcia. He's not a bad player, but we think we can put better players in that spot. And we do have somebody. We'll take a look at that here in just a moment. So he went out on loan to Liverpool. However, his loan does have a mandatory future fee of 22.5 mil. So maybe not quite as much money as we would like to have gotten for him, but considering we paid 4.8 mil for him and we're going to get 22.5 plus whatever the loan fees are and stuff like that, you know what? That's fine. Again, he played well for us. No complaints whatsoever about Garcia, but I think we can get better in that spot. And so that was a little bit of we decided to sell him while he was on a good note, right? He played well for us last season, got 15 goals there, as you can see. Let's sell him while his stock is high. You know what I mean? And then finally, Olsen. We were never really going to play Olsen. We sold him for up to 25 mil. We bought him for 6.5. So honestly, quadrupling our number for him for a guy that we actually never played a single game, I think is well worth it. And we not played for Seattle the first time we got him. Actually, I think we got him from Seattle and he went back out on loan to them. And then he went out to Brentford in the Premier League last year. Got 7 goals. Respectable. 6.72. It's not bad in the Premier League. But I actually think he's going to have a much better time in the Championship, although his first game, apparently he did not do so good. We were never going to play Olsen, so getting a little bit of money for him, all well and good. So we got 81 mil coming in. Not bad, you know? We got plenty of money in the transfer budget if we do find somebody we want to go after. We got tons of money in the bank account, but we just don't really have anybody that we need to go after. We got plenty of players. In fact, we can go take a look at our squad planner here, and I will show you guys what we've got available to us. So obviously, Videgla is still currently our starter. Hagelskar is so close. I would not be surprised if come December, January, when I reevaluate the team, if we decide to flip-flop these two and make Hagelskar our starter, assuming he comes back for his current injury with no issues. He's currently out for up to 3 weeks. Torn wrist ligament, which I think wrists is one of those things that goalkeepers actually do need. Other players might be able to get by without wrist ligaments. Goalkeepers kind of need their hands, so hopefully he comes back okay. But we expect him to be an absolute star for us at some point in the future. It's just a matter of time, and I think he's very, very close. He's right on the edge. We're going to play Videgla right now because he played well for us last season. I think Hagelskar right there on the edge, though, ready to jump in at the moment. On the left-hand side, we got O'Brien and Pinault, and actually, we'll go ahead and add in, I think he's on the under 18, or is he under the under 21? There we go. We'll go ahead and add a Krachnikov in here. If he comes back from his injury, then he'll definitely be a third-string player for us. Maybe we'll try to get some rotation for him. We'll see what happens. But he's definitely a player that could be good for us for the future. But honestly, our 2 guys that we got now are really good. Unfortunately, O'Brien is currently injured. He's one of those guys that has been injured. Part of the reason we lost that game to Chelsea, I would believe. He's out for a couple more weeks. Yeah. All right. And then on the right-hand side, we've got Holik as our primary, also been injured. And then we got Vermeulen. Goodness, I can't say. Are you actually with us? Yeah. Yeah, he's at okay. For some reason, just there, I thought he was out on contract or out on loan. I mean, he just got back from loan. That's what it was. He just recently got back from loan, and so he's here available for us. And we're gonna put him ahead of Solomon. Solomon hasn't been bad, and he's trained at clubs, so we're gonna keep Solomon around as long as he wants to be kept around because he's easy to register. But we think Vermeulen will actually be potentially even better than Holik someday. So we'll keep Vermeulen around here as our secondary at the moment. In the defensive mid center back roles. Of course, Safin and Holtberg, those guys are just rock solid. Ivazian, again, trained at club. Keep him around as long as we can. Martinez, I mean, we definitely need some more strength and depth in center back roles if we compare it to the rest of our team. Because obviously, as you can see, the average star ratings, the rest of our team has outclassed our defenders for the most part. Because several of these guys were 5-star at one point in time, but apparently we've got other players in other spots that have now pushed these guys down a little bit. So at some point, we do definitely need to get some of these guys to step up. I think Holtberg is definitely a guy for the future. Safin's fine. There's nothing wrong with Safin. We might try to find us somebody at some point, but for now, I'm not disappointed in what we've got, but it's something we should keep an eye open for because I think we could do better. Defensive midfield, we're pretty happy with this. Dean and Jamistos. Grali is still right there, ready to rock and roll. Medweke, I mean, yeah, he's about 4.5, 5-star potential. Right now it's showing 4, but again, that's because we've brought in some other players that are kind of pushing him down a little bit. But we're going to keep Medwicker around and Kobayashi as well. I might want to flip-flop these two, but for now, I mean, he's trained at club. We'll see. We'll keep it as is. We might flip-flop these guys around at any point in time, and we'll see how that goes. And then on that attacking midfielder on the left-hand side, the only person here that is not going to be on here is Smedred. We're moving on from Smedred at this point. I'll leave him on here, but he's definitely not in my rotation right now. So Smith, of course, as our primary. Baba as our secondary. Baba's been injured. Rydell is our tertiary, and that's kind of where we're at right now. Right-hand side, Kalman. Jewel back soon. A couple more weeks left on this lower leg, broken lower leg. Ugh. It's going to be good to have him back. Hopefully his growth has not been stunted too much. And then Popescu, we're trying to retrain him to be our third string there. Taking midfielder in the center, we got Lacombe. The person who's taking Garcia's place is Vatnsdal, who's one of our youngsters, wonder kid, coming in here. 2-star current ability, could be as high as 5-star. We like the way he's looking. And then Noir, he's technically a striker, but he's not got like great finishing. We're going to try to keep him back here as an attacking midfielder. That's about the only place he's going to get some game time. Truth be told, we probably will move on from him at some point, but for now, he's okay. And then finally, of course, we got Marion as our striker, main striker, Fiorini as our secondary, and then Tokmak, Ali Tokmak here. He could be as good, if not better, than Marion someday. He's looking pretty good. Good physicals, really good finishing. He's only 19 years old. We're going to see some good stuff from him, I think, going forward. Definitely want to get him in rotation because all three of these guys are really, really good. So that's kind of where we stand overall from all of that. Yeah, I guess that's that. I mean, currently right now, I do actually have a third string lineup set up. So if we play some really just low level teams, we might let some of these guys that are third string kind of get some game time here and there. But we probably won't do it too much. They might get like a quarter of the game time, and then probably about half the game time goes to our first team, something like that, and then maybe 40%, maybe about a third goes to our second team, and about a quarter goes to. I mean, I know the math doesn't work out there, but you know what I mean. Like approaching those numbers, we'll give the majority of the game time to our primaries, and then secondaries gets a little step down, and then the third string gets just a handful of games just to get them some time here and there. And honestly, obviously, if we have to get some injuries, which we have tons of injuries, as you can see, people will rotate in as needed at that point in time as well. So I guess the big moral of that story, in case that wasn't clear, we're carrying a much deeper bench, or maybe off bench, if you will, because we got the bench and then we got the guys that are behind that. So we're carrying almost a third teammate in just about every single spot. So that way, if we do get into injury trouble, which is working out right now because we are in injury trouble, we at least have some players that at least know how to play some of those spots that we can rotate in as needed. So that's kind of the thought process behind some of that. We got the money. We might as well carry them around if we can. The biggest thing is we got to get them some game time so that they don't just completely not get trained at all, you know? Let's go take a look at how the competition's standing. We are currently slated to be number 3. Number 3 team. So Chelsea's number 1. So we just lost Chelsea by only a single goal. Okay, fine. Man United is actually a little bit ahead of us, and then we're currently 3rd. I mean, if we overachieve like we usually do, I'm not too worried about that. We've only got one player in the Dream 11 at the moment. There's Rodriguez right there. And then our key players are Marin and Smith. I mean, that just makes perfect sense. Yeah, those are the guys you would expect. One thing I will say, we are, as of right now, the number 1 team in all of Europe. They came out with the rankings for Europe, and we are number 1. So, which effectively means we're the number 1 team in the world right now. Because if you're number 1 team in Europe, you're basically you're the number 1 team in the world. Reputation-wise, we're number 2. We're right behind PSG on reputation, but as far as just actual rankings, and if you look at the last 5 years of our achievements, we are number 1 right now. I think ahead of either Barcelona or Real Madrid. It might be Real Madrid who we just beat in the Champions League, but it's one of those Spanish teams. But yeah, it's really cool to be number 1. Very excited about that. Hopefully we can prove that ranking justifiable as we go into this next season. Part of the reason why I haven't brought anybody in is because I do have my eye on some Wonder Kids, but we already brought in our 6 Wonder Kids for this year. We literally can't bring any more in. Now, what we will do, once we get past the January transfer window, so we know that it forcibly will put people on the next transfer window after that, we might take a look at some Wonder Kids after that leading into next year. But for right now, I'm just kind of sitting on it, and we're just not going to touch anything at the moment. I think that's it. Again, tons of injuries, unfortunately. Hopefully we can get these guys back healthy soon, because it's going to make it a hard start. We'll see where that goes for us from there. I believe that's going to be it, though. Next game up is going to be the Newcastle Brighton pairing. I'll show you guys that game. We're probably going to skip along pretty quickly here, though. I'll probably show the Newcastle Brighton and probably skip a month and then come back somewhere down here, and then probably skip a month and come back. I mean, because I want to kind of breeze through these last 2 seasons relatively quickly. I still want to do them, but I don't feel like we have to focus on them too much. It's more of just see how it looks, see how far along we can go, and kind of go from there. But anyway, I do appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you guys think about the team in the comments below, and we'll see how good this team can get. Hopefully we can be 3rd time's a charm winners of the Premier League. That would be awesome. Love to win back-to-back Champions League. That is so hard to do. I mean, I don't even care if we win 3 in a row. 2 in a row is just already just so hard to do. That would be pretty epic if we could get that pulled off. So we'll see. But I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.